Okie dokie, everybody. Today we are going to talk about water filtration, drinking water, and your shower slash bath water. So I'm going to go ahead and get started immediately and try to make this video as short and to the point as I can. So, as you know, obviously you really don't want to drink tap water. It has a lot of stuff in it that's really not good for you. Fluoride, chlorine, hydrofluorosilicic acids, and all kinds of stuff, calcium buildups, sediments, etc. So you really want to filter your water in some way, shape, or form. Sometimes I drink filtered water through just like the refrigerator filter, or sometimes I do um, kind of like, just bottled water occasionally or whatever. But as far as like most of the water I drink at home, I use a combination of half distilled water. And this is a distiller that I bought for about $50 or $60. It's a pretty cheap distiller. And this is the jug that the water goes into. And obviously you have to set it up and whatnot. But I do enjoy distilling the water, and so I have homemade distilled water that I use about half the time, and then the other half of the time I use, like filtered through the fridge, bottled water, or, one of these like Brita pitchers, basically. So, and these aren't the best, but it's definitely a whole lot better than nothing to filter out some of the toxicity in your water. If for any reason you can't, afford a water filter, and all you have access to is tap water, I highly recommend just putting it in, like a large bowl or a large pot and just letting it sit for like, say at least several hours. The longer the better. And some of the chlorine gas will actually evaporate off of that. So that's something else I can recommend if you don't have access to any type of water filtration. So when it comes to your drinking water, you definitely don't want to play around. So that is one of the major keys to your health. So just don't forget that. You can get like bottles, reusable water bottles from like the grocery store that are like filtered water bottles. Like they have a built-in filter. I think Brita makes one, and you can also get those tumblers that have like the crystals built into them, or the charcoal, and that absorbs the toxicity from the tap water so that you can have filtered water. So that would be something else I would recommend. So then obviously you can always boil your water and then let it cool off if you're dealing with tap water, but that does not do just a whole lot as well. So when it comes to the drinking water, that's about all I have to say about that. You always want to make sure you have clean drinking water on you wherever you are. Alkaline water is a big thing. I recommend drinking alkaline water. Fuji water, in my opinion, is the best. I'm not a really big fan of like Dasani or Aquafina, but in a pinch, it's better, obviously, a lot better than drinking tap water. So, all right. So moving on to bath and shower water filtration. Let's see. How would I explain this in the fastest way possible? I have a lot to talk about when it comes to water filtering, so bear with me. As you can see, this right here is this is a shower head attachment. It's the type of shower filter that I normally use, and you can find these on eBay or Amazon for literally as cheap as $3 or $4, maybe even less than that. So if you needed like a super, super cheap one, yeah, I'd say about $3. But these can go all the way up to like 10 or 15, and it's really not bad at all. One of these generally lasts me about, I guess I'd say about 3 months. So sometimes they can last up to 6 months depending on what kind you get, but for me, at least once every 2 to 3 months, if I don't replace the whole entire shower head, I will replace the beads inside of it, because you can actually take it apart like up here, and you can take out your old filtering beads, and you can order packets of the new beads, and sometimes they're not even $1 for a new packet of beads. So you replace the beads back into the filter, and these right here are let's see, those are titanium, I believe. or I'm honestly not even sure what they are. But yeah, so you have these beads up here, and then these down here are copper beads, and there are also white ones as well, and those I believe are, I want to say they're like ceramic, I'm not sure, but sometimes, you know, they come with the white ones too, but this is just a very basic example of a shower filter. Now you can get really, really nice fancy ones going all the way up to $100 a piece and even up past that point. So if you go to Walmart or Target, you can find a shower filter, probably about $30 or $40, but I just order mine off Amazon or eBay. I prefer eBay, because that way I can have access to, you know, a decent shower filter that's going to be, still effective. So, these are, you know, definitely on the less expensive end. So, but definitely better than nothing. You want to use something because your shower water is just as toxic as your water that, you know, tap water that's coming out of your sink that some people still drink. So, you don't really want to be bathing in that. You don't want to be really letting it, you know, on your skin like that with your showering and everything. It's actually, you know, it's been proven to negatively affect your immune system and dry out your skin, dry out your hair. You'll notice immediately if you start using one of these, your skin and your hair after the first use, it's like night and day. So if you're using a cheaper one, you will want to replace it more often than a high quality one. So let's see what else. Okay, so as far as a bath filter is concerned, you can use like a, I had one recently and I believe it was called a bath, I don't remember the brand, but they actually have bath filters as well that you can like, you put in a special container that like Velcros onto your, where your water comes out of your bathtub. And so that way the water goes through a filter before it hits the bathtub. So that's a good option to look at as well. So, bath filters, shower filters. If you don't have a bath or a shower filter, they actually also have things you can buy called bath tablets. So, like if you take a bath, which I do, I always just run my bath water with my shower head before I get in. But they have bath tablets that have certain constituents in them that will help absorb the toxins from the water. So, definitely something to look into. Certain types of bath bombs you can put in your bath that will help soak up some of that. So like, you know, worst case scenario is say you're on vacation and you don't have access to any kind of bath or shower filtration. Worst case scenario, you could go and get like some all natural bath bombs and put one or two in your tub. Or you could even do like some baking soda. I know whenever I'm traveling, I just make sure wherever I'm going that I'm going to have access to like some natural like sea salt or kosher salt along with some baking soda, and you know, maybe even do like some apple cider vinegar or something like that, and kind of just dump some of that into your bath water, and it will help pull some of the toxicity from that bath. So yeah, I hope all this makes sense. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to add, but this is basically water filtration in a nutshell, as well as you know, talking about different types of water, shower, bath filter. And I would also like to mention that you can, when it comes to different types of like water you can get from the store, you know, there's like spring water, there's distilled water. Spring water, in my opinion, is probably the best type of water that we should be ingesting. I think it's the most natural with the most mineral content. Also the most pure. I mean, distilled water, honestly, is the purest of waters. Reverse osmosis is similar. I'm not a big fan of reverse osmosis. It's pretty devoid of mineral content. So if you're drinking reverse osmosis, you probably want to be drinking like other types of water as well, or adding minerals to your water like fulvic acid, some Himalayan sea salt, things like that. So that's why I only drink distilled water about half the time, because you definitely still want your minerals in there. However, like I said, you can add minerals, so something to look into. And all right, that is it. I will be planning another video for tomorrow.